Hello, my name's John Cameron. We at John Brooks Cameron Associates represent injured workers. We don't represent employers. We understand the plight of the worker. At many times, workers are faced with dilemma if they have an injury. Let's say you're at work and you hurt your back. You don't know whether it's serious. You don't know whether it's going to be okay the next day. Do you report it? Do you not report it? What's the consequences if you don't report the injury? What's the consequences if you do report the injury? How soon do you have to seek out medical treatment? You have an employer. Maybe your employer wants you to use the company doctor. Do you have to use the company doctor? Or can you go to your own doctor? There's a whole bunch of questions that you have to ask yourself. It's our job here to help guide you through this process. It's not easy, it's not simple, it's not uncomplicated. We wish it was, and the Bureau tries to make it simpler, but it's still not a simple process. Let's say a claim has been opened and you now want to get treatment. Obviously, you want to return to work. You want to get back to doing what you do. What happens if you can't get the treatment? One of the basic problems with workers' compensation is everything in workers' compensation revolves around what the claim has been allowed for. When you are injured, there's virtually every injury that you might have at work has a little code that's associated with it at workers' compensation. And each of these little codes has a certain amount of treatment and benefits that you may be eligible for under that code. Was your case allowed for the appropriate codes, or do you need to get additional allowances in order for you to get the medical treatment that you need? What happens if the doctor, if you're going to the company doctor and the company doctor decides that you can go back to work, that you don't need to be off work, and you can't do it. You can't go back to work. It hurts too much. You can't do your job. What do you do? What do you do when you can't get the additional treatment that you need? When the Bureau denies your request for additional treatment, how do you move forward? What do you do when you've opened up your workers' comp claim and you discover that the amount of money you're getting paid every other week is really low and you don't understand? What do you do when you're told to go back to work when you can't? What do you do when you can't get the treatment that you need? What do you do when your case is being fought by an employer who denies your claim, basically saying you're a liar, saying that you didn't injure yourself at work, that this is some kind of injury that happened somewhere else? Or if you have maybe there's this strange company out there that's handling your case and you don't even understand who they are. They have a name you've never heard. It's not your employer, but they're the ones who are challenging you. They're the ones who are objecting to your treatment. They're the ones who don't want you to have the treatment that you need. We at John Brooks Cameron Associates understand that this isn't something that you've done before in all likelihood. This isn't something you've done on a regular basis. This isn't something that you understand how to get the benefits, the treatment, the compensation that you're entitled to. This isn't something we would expect that you would know how to navigate a complicated process by yourself. That's why we're here to help you. We can help you put on the medical evidence. We can help you make your case to get your claim allowed. What happens if your claim's allowed and you look at the amount you're getting paid and it's way lower than you expect? Well, your average weekly wage is the basis for what your weekly payments will be. What happens if the right calculations weren't done in establishing your average weekly wage? If it isn't calculated correctly, then your average weekly wage is not going to be what it's supposed to be. That paycheck that you get each week won't be for enough money. It won't be for the compensation you're entitled to. What if you need additional treatment? We can help you file for an additional allowance to get your additional conditions allowed so that your treatment will be covered. We can file for requests for that additional treatment. There are a myriad of things that we can help you with. You don't have to go this alone. We're here to help.